Located on a lonely island in the middle of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz, also known as the Rock, has held captives since the Civil War. In 1934, the high point of a major war on crime was that Alcatraz was refortified into the world's most secure prison. Its eventual inmates included dangerous public enemies like Al Capone, criminals who had a history of escapes, and the occasional odd character like the infamous Birdman of Alcatraz. So in this video, we are going to talk about the prison escape from Alcatraz, impossible or not. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. In the 1930s, Alcatraz was already a forbidding place, surrounded by the cold, rough waters of the Pacific Ocean. Its redesign included tougher iron bars, a series of strategically positioned guard towers, and strict rules, including a dozen checks a day of the prisoners. Escape seemed near impossible. The first cell house was constructed on Alcatraz in 1859 and was designed to house military prisoners. During World War I, it housed men who refused their mandatory conscription call-up before eventually becoming a federal prison for public prisoners in 1934. After major extensions were made across the island's 22 acres, the site remained a federal prison until it closed in 1963. The prison was designed to be a maximum security facility, with reinforced concrete walls, heavy steel doors, and guard towers with armed guards. In addition, the prison was located on an island in San Francisco Bay, making it nearly impossible for prisoners to escape without being detected. Prior to the U.S.-Mexican War of 1846 to 1848, San Francisco and its many islands were part of Mexico. It was only following the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, where the two countries redrew their borders, that Alcatraz became a part of the modern United States of America. Following the change, then U.S. President Fillmore ordered the island to be used as a military base and prison. The three inmates who escaped from Alcatraz were Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin. All three were serving lengthy sentences for various crimes, including robbery and bank theft. Frank Morris was a career criminal who had been incarcerated in numerous prisons before arriving at Alcatraz. He was known for his intelligence and creativity and had a reputation as an escape artist. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now let's get back to our topic. John Anglin and Clarence Anglin were brothers who had grown up in rural Florida. They had a long history of criminal activity, including bank robberies and prison escapes. They were both serving time in Alcatraz for their role in a bank robbery. The three men met in Alcatraz and quickly became friends, united by their desire to escape. They worked on their escape plan for several months, carefully digging a tunnel through the concrete walls of their cells and constructing dummy heads to fool the guards. Despite the risks involved, Morris and the Anglin brothers were determined to escape from Alcatraz and were willing to take whatever steps necessary to achieve their goal. Although their fate remains a mystery, their daring escape continues to capture the public's imagination more than 5 decades later. Since the escape, there have been numerous theories and investigations as to what happened to the escapees. Some have speculated that they successfully made it to shore and started new lives, while others believe that they perished in the bay. Despite extensive searches, their bodies have never been recovered, adding to the mystery surrounding their fate. The Alcatraz escape has become a legendary story in popular culture, inspiring books, movies, and television shows. It has also become a symbol of the human spirit's resilience and determination to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Despite the odds, from 1934 until the prison was closed in 1963, 36 men attempted 14 separate escapes. Nearly all were caught or didn't survive. Philip Bergen, captain of the guards at Alcatraz from 1946 to 1955, believed survival was impossible. If they went into the water, they were drowned within 30 minutes. They succumbed to hypothermia and drowned. But Patrick Mahoney, who ran the launch that traveled between Alcatraz and the mainland, has some doubts. I felt that they didn't make it, but I thought we'd find a body. We didn't find a body. Corridors throughout the Alcatraz cell house are all named after major thoroughfares from across the U.S., including Broadway, Times Square, Park Avenue, Michigan Avenue, and the Sunset Strip. During one of the first documented explorations of the area in 1775, Spanish naval officer Juan Manuel de Ayala named an island within the San Francisco Bay La Isla de los Alcatrazes. Today, the island is known as Yerba Buena Island, but the name of Alcatraz, which loosely translates to pelicans in Spanish, stuck and was given to the smaller, now much better known tract of land next to Yerba Buena Island. Like many famous buildings, there have been legendary tales of secret tunnels underneath Alcatraz for decades, and in 2019, myth became fact when archaeologists found tunnels using laser scans. Most surprisingly, though, was the age of the tunnels, which appear to date all the way back to U.S. Civil War times from the 1860s. Don DeNevy, a professor at Merritt College in Oakland, said, "Carnes was the most important inmate on Alcatraz. He had gained the respect of virtually all the other inmates because he knew how to keep his mouth shut. He was, in a sense, the godfather of Alcatraz." The most violent escape attempt occurred on May 2-4, 1946, when a failed attempt by 6 prisoners led to the Battle of Alcatraz, also known as the Alcatraz Blastout. It was carried out by 6 prisoners: Bernard Coy, Joseph Kretzer, Sam Shockley, Clarence Carnes, Marvin Hubbard, and Moran Thompson. They daringly took control of the cell house by overpowering correctional officers and were able to enter the weapons room and obtain the keys to the recreation yard door. Their aim was to escape by boat from the dock, but when they failed to obtain the keys to the outside door, they decided to battle it out. In the fight that ensued, they managed to hold 2 correctional officers hostage, whom they eventually killed after 2 days. Prompted by Shockley and Thompson, Kretzer shot the hostages at very close range. One of the guards, William Miller, succumbed to his injuries, while the second guard, Harold Stites, was also killed in the cell house by friendly fire from outside. Although Shockley, Thompson, and Carnes returned to their cells, the other 3, Coy, Kretzer, and Hubbard, persisted with their fight. The U.S. Marines intervened to help the correctional officers and killed the 3 prisoners. In this battle, apart from the guards and prisoners killed, 17 other guards and 1 prisoner were also injured. Shockley, Thompson, and Carnes were tried for the killing of the correctional officers. Shockley and Thompson were sentenced to death through the gas chamber, an action which was carried out at San Quentin in December 1948. Carnes, who was only 19 years old, was given a second life sentence. Throughout the years, Alcatraz has made appearances in 9 films, including Catch Me If You Can, X-Men, The Last Stand, Book of Eli, Escape from Alcatraz, and The Rock. It has also been the backdrop for a 2012 TV show from J.J. Abrams and features in the Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, and Hulk video games. While Alcatraz may have been home to some of America's most dangerous criminals, it was also where the wives and children of the prison's guards lived, too. At any one time, the island was home to 300 civilians, with around 50 families residing on Alcatraz at any one time in its 29-year history as a federal prison. In addition to having its own bowling alley, soda shop, post office, and commissary for basic pantry items, the island also had a preschool for youngsters, while older children commuted to school on the mainland each day by boat. The teens were even required to wear dog tags to prove they were island residents. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you liked this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.